Alright, so this is gonna be my meals for a 2-night, 3-day backpacking trip. I'm gonna hike the Appalachian Trail. So this is day one, and how I have it here, this would be breakfast, but since we're gonna have it before we start, I don't have it. That's a snack, that's a lunch, that's a dinner. Right? So breakfast, snack, lunch, dinner. The last day is a hike out, so we're going to have breakfast and a snack and have the lunch on the road. And this over here is extra. So this is just some coffee and sugars, salt, olive oil. This is an extra lunch, extra meal. That's just in case don't have enough, or if there's another hiker who's really hungry and they need a meal. So in each one I have a few things. So for the snack on the first day, it's dried pineapple with like a granola bar. Lunch for the first day is there's a package of tuna in there. There's a granola bar. There's some mayo, salt, and pepper for the tuna, and then there's this like squeeze of chocolate hazelnut. Alright, so that's lunch. Snack, lunch, and then dinner is a dehydrated Mountain House backpacking meal. It's lasagna, meat sauce. I've got some lasagna meat sauce. I've got some olive oil to add, gives a little bit more protein. I've got some coffee and a tea for before bed. I think that's all that I have in there. There's some sweetener in there as well. Day two, breakfast. There's a couple oatmeal, some instant coffee, some sweetener, and there's a thing of peanut butter. Day two for snack, pretty much the same as day one. Dried pineapple, granola bar. Lunch is pretty much the same as day one. Tuna. There's some raisins. Oh yeah, there's some raisins in there as well. Raisins, granola bar. There is maple and almond butter, just to get some flavor. And there's some mayonnaise, salt, and pepper buried down in there as well. And then for dinner is a Mexican rice. It's one of these things. Just add water and olive oil. So Mexican rice, there's a package of olive oil, there's some Taco Bell sauce, there's tea and sweetener in there as well, salt and pepper. Then the third day hiking out, I'm going to have breakfast, 2 oatmeals. There is a granola bar, there's coffee and sweetener. For the snack on the hike out, there's a granola bar, raisins, there's a peanut butter. We should be out by noontime, maybe a little after 2 o'clock, so there should be enough there. And then the extra is just like condiments, coffee, and there's one of those add water and olive oil, and another tuna fish. So that's in case I run out or if somebody needs. So these will all be packed up in Ziploc for each day. Day 1, day 2, day 3, extra. Then on the other side of the table is pretty much everything that I need for meals except for that. That's for now. So extra Ziploc bags. That's cleaning scouring pad to clean the stove. This is a beer bag. There's 50 foot of small line in there with a carabiner, and that's how I take all the food. That blue bag, I put a couple rocks in, tie it to the string, throw it up over a high branch, and then there's a thing called a PCT bear bag that will allow me to get all this food up in a tree so it's not near my hammock for a bear to smell and me be a bear burrito. So this is a collapsible bowl. This is my cook kit. Inside there's a pot, there's a stove, everything that I need in there. Over here, titanium spoon. I have a couple water bottles. This is all the water I'm going to bring. We have water filtration that we will filter right out of a creek. And then over here is fuel for the stove. So this is just basically denatured alcohol. It's using a antifreeze for fuel line. You get it at an auto parts store. And what's nice about it is it burns very clean. There's no soot, there's no smoke. It's really cheap, and for one meal I'll need about a third of this bottle. It's not too much, and it'll burn for about 10 minutes. I really only need about 8 minutes to boil water, and that's all that's really going to be used for, is boiling water, nothing else. I'm not cooking in it. Everything is basically cooked right in their bags. So that thing is just boiling water. So water for the dehydrated meals, and then of course water for oatmeal and coffee. That last thing over there is just some of that concentrated juice to add to the water. After a while, water gets be a little plain. But that is everything for eating, cooking for a 3-day trip. When we do the Appalachian Trail, of course there'll be more, basically the same concept. I'll have to add more meals, but we are going to be at a resupply halfway through our trip. So we're going to do 80 miles. We will probably get away with 5 meals, resupply, and then we'll have another 5. It'll be about a 9-day trip for 80 miles on Appalachian Trail. And we will be going up and down a lot of mountains, so we'll burn a lot of calories. So we need food like this. We need fruit. We need carbs, and a lot of carbs in these, and then some protein. So tuna, the olive oil, granola bars are good. So all of this stuff is pretty much, you have to plan each day and know what you're going to have each day and think it through. You don't want to be caught off guard without food. It's not really any places to go fish, since you're pretty much hiking a ridge line. You're not down in the valley being able to fish for anything. So you got to have everything ready. I will package each one of these into a Ziploc and then put it into one bag, and each day I'll pull out the food for the day. All the days with all the meals packed up. So in there's lunch and dinner. The snack I didn't put into it because first day that's going to go right in my hip belt on the pack so I can get access to it. So in this one is breakfast, snack, lunch, and dinner. And when I have breakfast, I'll take that snack out, put it in my hip belt. Day 3 is breakfast and a snack, and then there's the extra. So those are all the meals, each one set up by its day, and the extra. So here's all my meals. So there's my snack for the day. That's gonna go right into that hip pack that's on the waist belt. That's so I can get to it while I'm hiking. I'm going to go in this pocket. In that pocket will be my water bottle. Get to that while it's hiking. So this is the top of the pack and the bottom, right? So the way to pack it is you put your sleeping bag in the bottom. Then you're going to put your heavy stuff down near the bottom and closer to your back, right? So that's my back. It's laying flat, of course, right? So light sleeping bag in the bottom, heavy, then light on the top. You don't want it out of balance. And you want the weight towards your back, not way out behind you, tipping you backwards. So, my snack accessible. These are all the other meals, not the meal for that day. So, this is going to be my meals for whatever day I'm hiking. So, tomorrow will be the first day. So, in here I have my first lunch and my first dinner. That will go near the top so I can get it out of the pack easy. When we stop for lunch, I don't have to dig all the way down to get my meal. Meals can be heavy, so I don't want all the meals near the top. I want most of the meals towards that center of the pack. So that's what's in here. So in here is day 2 and day 3 and the extra meal, all in this one pack. And it's pretty tight. I squeezed it down, tried to get all the air out. And then this is my beer bag. Put a rock in it, there's some rope, a carabiner, and those meals for that night will all be heaved up in a tree. So I'm not a beer burrito. Alright. My stove. That will go down inside the middle part of the pack. My bowl will go in, right? So this is just a collapsible bowl. Right. That will all go in the center of the pack. So what I have down in there is my sleeping bag. Right in this area here is my hammock and the rainfly. Then I'm going to have my meals. Towards that edge is light clothes. Up here is some more clothes. And then I have some extra stuff that's like first aid kit. It's going to be near the top, easy to get out. There's some extra small pieces of rope. A few other stuff. The fuel for the stove, that will be right near the stove. And then of course my meals right on the top. And on the very top will be a pack rain fly, so if it rains I can quickly cover it up, and there'll be a trash bag up there. So if it is rainy I can take all that stuff, everything in there, and put it inside the trash bag, inside the pack in that same order. Here's the stove kit. Everything here was in that little pouch for the stove. So what it is a pot. Get the handle. It's a pot that fits onto the stove like that. So it's a really lightweight pot. It can hold a little over 2 cups of water. So there's all the stove, everything put together. So the pot, inside is the windscreen, the solid fuel, the penny stove, my lighter, waterproof matches, the lid, and then the collapsible cup. It'll all fit inside that little pouch. And these things are very light.